Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I have a very, very special episode where I have three amazing members, the newest members of the Scalable Systems Mastermind, that are on here to talk about their experience within the program. In the program, this is their first round, and they are going to be just sharing about what they've experienced within the first 3 weeks of the program. So they're only 3 weeks in, and they've already created a lot of transformation, a lot of growth. And I am so, so, so excited for you to hear more from them. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They're going to be sharing about who they help as well. And if there's something that you hear that you're interested in, that like within their programs, within their offers, I'm also going to be including their information in the show notes. And I'm also going to have links to their social media, ways to connect with them. So feel free to reach out to them after these calls, after this podcast as well. So with that being said, Melissa, why don't you go ahead and get us started?
And hey, everybody, thanks for having me. My name is Melissa Wirt, and I help people in the pre-retirement phase of life who've accomplished a lot, and they are going through a stressful period typically, but they want to turn that stress into some fuel so that they can finish this chapter of their career strong. They're usually pretty ready to leave their current work or position, but maybe not leave the job market completely, and they want to explore options. Um, what's getting in the way though is even though it's on their horizon, they can't really imagine retirement yet. So we just spend time exploring all the non-financial aspects of retiring. Most of them have a financial professional. So so what we do is fill in all the other pieces of the conversation, how relationships shift, how they manage themselves mentally and emotionally as they go through the rises and falls of their investments, things like that. And I'm just so thrilled to be in scalable systems and working with the masterminders and with Megan, because my breakthroughs, I mean, they just keep coming. And like you said, it's been like 3 weeks, and I've just been surprised at how doable everything you teach is. Um, and how I'm able to really, I love music. I know you do too, Megan. And so there's a song that kind of captures it. It's like, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. It's like all the clouds are out of the way. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. That's kind of my breakthrough song, because I've been able to actually do things. And the biggest piece of that is the relief and excitement that comes from having a clear understanding of what to focus on to build my business. I've been coaching for a while. I know how to help people and talk to people when we're one-on-one, but I don't have a business background. Nobody in my family does. Nobody in my circle does. And so it's just been like water in a desert to be able to like see the whole vision and just chunk it down. What do I need to focus on now? And then you give us metrics to help us actually know that we're on track all the incremental processes, steps, until we get the big result that we all want, which is to be able to serve more people, receive income, that kind of stuff. But I can't say enough good. I'm so happy to share that.
Oh my goodness, Melissa, I am so excited for you. And I think for so many people, one of the things I think is really important about your story that a lot of people hear is that a lot of people come into their businesses passionate about their service. They come in excited to help people, and then they don't have the business background. And for me, that was the exact same thing that happened for me as well. I was a teacher. I had no one in my family had started a business. Like it was very much like my parents were the first generation even to go to college. So it was like this was just a huge, huge shift for into the unknown for my life. And I'm so, so happy that the systems have helped you so much. Like, and another thing is there is genius, I think, within so many people that provide services. Pre-retirement, I had never even heard of that before. So just such a unique, awesome angle. And I'm so excited for more people to learn about what you do and for you to really get this new offer out into the world.
Thanks, Megan.
Of course. And again, if anyone ever, you're going to hear about some really awesome businesses today. So make sure that you go into the show notes to learn about all these amazing entrepreneurs as well. Now, next up, we have Tammy coming in. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everyone about the biggest breakthrough you've had within the brand new Scalable Systems Mastermind.
Hi, I'm Tammy Allen. I am a board certified family medicine physician. I help people travel healthy and stress free. So I have a pre travel um, telemedicine business where I consult people on pre travel. So that entails doing anything from getting your prescriptions. Um, Reviewing your itinerary, reviewing your travel insurance, anything that has to do with travel, I am there to help you. And one of the good things about me is I'm a physician, so I can write the prescriptions, but also I've traveled to more than 53 countries. So I have hands-on experience. I am an adventure traveler. I love to scuba dive. Um, Anything that's adventurous, I've probably done it. And so I have a lot of experience and a lot of advice for people that are traveling, and I also have a lot of experience with family travel. I've gone on trips with lots of trips with my family, multi-generational trips. So that's what I do in a nutshell. And the reason that I joined the scalable systems was because I don't have much of a business background either. In medicine, we don't get taught a lot about business. And so I wanted to get better business systems in place, get better with my marketing. And one of the problems I have is I'm not a salesperson and I cringe at sending out cold direct messages, emails, blah, blah, blah. And my breakthrough has been that Megan insisted that I do 10 DMs after a mastermind one day. I did it reluctantly and I sent out 10 and I got immediately two responses back. Like, I'm interested. Let's talk about this. The next day I sent out 10 more and got two more responses. And the next day I sent 10 more and got two more responses. So it's just, she helped me draft the direct messages, and it's just been such a game changer for me. And so I'm all excited. I'm really excited to see what the future is going to hold for me and my business. I'm really excited about helping people have their best stress-free travel. I have a lot of information and a lot of experience to share, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
Me too. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. And I know that so many people that are on the podcast listening are also people who love to travel like I do, because as you guys know, I like went on 17 trips last year alone. So I love to go different places, and we like when we're going different places, it's great to have that preparedness there. And so first and foremost, wanted to just give you another plug, like such an incredible idea for a business and for the DMs and things like that. Coming back into it, because I also felt like I didn't want to be salesy. I was like, I think that we have all experienced something that isn't super positive when we get an unwanted DM, and we don't want to come across as just like looking to just get things from people. And I think that I'm so, so glad that you were willing to give it a try. And also the fact that we were able to craft something that felt good enough, that was authentic enough and service focused enough for you to send it out, because now 6 different people, and I know that these are also businesses that you are potentially going to be collaborating with, which is another different angle that I think that's something that I never even thought of when I was first starting my business, which is a great utilization of your DMs. And I think that that's going to be something really, really interesting for so many other people to be thinking about for their business, growing their businesses as well. And I can help with that as well. So thank you just so much for sharing all of that. So excited for your business to continue to blossom. We're going to come back around to everybody. Don't you worry. But I'm really, really excited for where this is going to. Again, and most people, just a caveat, don't always get these results so quickly. This is like that's one of the reasons why I was like, Tammy, if you could come on and talk about like that it could be really fast. It took me like 6 months of DMs in order to learn how to actually bring people on. Now we have a system for it. It makes it so much easier. But with you, the fact that like literally 3 days of messaging people and you got 6 responses from 30 messages, like that's uncanny and amazing. And I'm very excited to see how this continues to grow.
Me too. Thank you.
Of course. Christy, you are next.
Hello, thank you for having me. So my name is Christy Conyer, and my program is called the Style Strategy. And I help all types of women discover their style, master their wardrobe, and we create a really easy formula that allows them to show up, get dressed really authentically to them, and that matches their lifestyle and makes them feel awesome and confident every day.
I love it. And so for you, within these past, again, it's only been 3 weeks. And I know that first and foremost, for any of you that are looking for more style in your life, we're going to include everyone's information in the show notes. I know that pretty much everyone in this round of the mastermind was like, I want to like work with you because there's so much of a need for that. But I also want to know within, again, a very short time period, 3 weeks, what has been a breakthrough that you've had within scalable systems so far that you want to share with the people?
Well, there's a lot, and I've thought about this to put it all in a small amount of time. But I would say the biggest impact, because this is a new niche for me, this is a relatively new business. I've been coaching before, but the style part is new. Is that the way that it was laid out? It's allowed me to really settle into where I'm at. It's like Megan met me to where I was in my business. And it's allowed me to really just relax and know that there's what the steps that are coming down the pipeline, but that I don't have to rush it. I don't have to skip past all these parts and catch up with everyone else. I can just finally kind of like relax and enjoy it. And right now I am having so much fun with my marketing because the pillars have been everything. She helps you develop pillars in your business, and that has been everything. And without that, I don't think that I would, I don't know. I can't imagine how my business would be looking right now if I didn't have those or take the time to figure out what those were, because it's been everything. It's been my marketing. It's shaped actually how I am going to be delivering my program. It's really refined what I'm going to be teaching in my program. So it kind of has been everything. And so I'm kind of at the first part. I'm at the beginning chapter of all of this. And so I'm very excited what's to come. But the pillars and the marketing and how I'm launching this new business has been incredible.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited that you brought up the pillars because that was a huge eye-opening thing for me as well. And for anybody that's listening that is like, what is a pillar? What could this possibly be? This like elusive pillar. Just to clarify what that is within your offer, a lot of us as service-based business owners, we are selling something that's intangible. So we are selling something that people can't necessarily pick up a cup and be like, okay, I can see that when I purchase this, there is going to be an inherent return on my investment that is going to come in the way that a typical good would come. So as a service-based business, we have to speak about, especially as a service-based business that is offering something that is a higher ticket, something that's typically more expensive than maybe people are used to paying. We want to make sure that we're talking about like this being an investment for them and explaining how they're going to grow by working with us. And I think that that was a huge thing for me when I did the career fulfillment initiative, which is what I named my offer. I had pillars like overcoming burnout, confidence, work-life balance, time management, confidence, or 10-year plan. Those are my 5. And so those are the things that I help people create within this program. And just a teaser for if anyone is, I'm going to be including more information about and maybe another opportunity to work with me coming soon. But within that, I'm going to be giving you not pillars, but like a basis of how to like refine your offer that will be a foundation for pillars later on. So just to kind of seed that in there. Thank you for bringing that up, Christy. I was hoping somebody would talk about that because that was a huge aha moment for me for my marketing as well, because just posting whatever I'm going to be thinking about on a Tuesday, God, it was going all over the place. I was talking about everything from like how I was feeling in the morning to like a better strategy for like organizing my clothes at night. It was a mess. And so I'm glad that was helpful for you too.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, of course. Okay, so we've heard from everyone once. I'm going to go back around the crew and we're going to talk all about what their biggest accomplishments have been so far. And the reason why I think this is a really fun time for this unique everyone who's on the podcast is that again, I've only been working with them for 3 weeks. We literally just started working together. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about different accomplishments that you've created so far. And I think it's going to show people that, especially even though I've extended the program to be a full year, that it's not like, okay, next year I'm going to create something that's an accomplishment. That was like, I know an objection I'm sure people have that like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to wait 6 months, 9 months to actually see a result? All of these amazing entrepreneurs have created these results within the first 3 weeks. So that's my just heads up for you guys. And Melissa, I am going to have you go first again and share about your accomplishments so far. Oh, here, and Melissa, I'm gonna make sure that you get unmuted real quick. Technical difficulties, you know. There we go.
That's
Perfect.
on me. That's on me. Thank you. Yeah, so I was just saying how much fun it is to hear about Tammy and Christy's progress and accomplishments. And in other groups I've been in, it's been harder for some reason for me to just keep the focus on what I need, my clients need, my business needs next. So that's a big first accomplishment. And then once I did that, like there are several pillars that Megan works from. And if I've just stuck to continuing to define my offer and pillars. I've been having this offer and delivering it, but being able to articulate it in a way that people can actually see how they're going to benefit from what we do has been just like, I don't know, it just feels huge. It's such a gift, not just for me, but just for this work getting out in the world, because it feels like every person who's spoken has something so useful to offer. And sometimes getting that intangible stuff defined in a way that's useful is a big part of what I'm working on right now, and getting better a day at a time. But I've also the other key, like there's behind the scenes, so there's all this work going on behind the scenes that entrepreneurs do, and then there's what goes on in front of it. You know, one of my challenges has been I'm a family person, and families, they need help sometimes, and you want to spend time with them, or friends or spouses. So it's like a work-life balance has already improved. I was able to help a family member recently through a really challenging time and still make progress, which is a key accomplishment. I'm doing weekly evaluations of my work, which helps me plan for the coming week. So therefore, I accomplish more and I feel clear about what I'm doing. I just have two more quick ones because I want to hear from what everybody else has to say too. But, so that's behind the scenes, but actually reaching out to people. So, I've sort of effortlessly generated a consult and was just from feeling more confident because I understand what I'm doing now and as a business person. And also just yesterday, I spoke with a financial professional that I have a relationship and let him know how I can help his clients when the markets are going up and down. Um, and he was thrilled to hear about it. He asked for my social media to share with clients, and pretty soon I'll have it all squared away and share it with them. So those feel like big accomplishments for me.
Oh my goodness, I love this. And I think that like for me, something else that always comes up for me is that work-life balance and the time. That's something that's huge to me. That was something that I focused on as a general life coach and something that I feel so passionate about as a business coach as well. And I think that a lot of times when people are thinking about like doing a coaching program or just like investing in their businesses in any way, shape, or form, we're always looking for the right time. And I think we're also looking to make sure that like, okay, like, am I going to lose time with my family because I'm doing something new, adding something that's new? And my goal is that it makes business easy so you can have more time with your family. That's an angle I didn't even think about talking to people about, but that's critical. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it really feels like that's such a value. It's a value of mine, and it's actually already happening. And the fastness is it's surprising. I'm excited.
Yeah, literally, I didn't even know that you had a consult already. So I'm like very excited for you. I'm like, this is amazing. And so that's the other thing about this. It can happen so quickly. And within like it having a full year, I don't know if I know for a fact, there's never going to be a year of your business where there aren't ups and downs in life. There's always going to be things that are going on in your personal life, especially because now it is a full year. But for me, what I want everyone to think about is like, when you look back, and again, we're recording this on March 5th, 2025. You're going to be hearing it later on. But whenever you listen to this podcast, I want you to think about when I look back on this year, what am I going to create with this business? Am I creating the legacy that I'm hoping to create? Is this going to be the business that I like really feel like I'm leaving my mark on the world? And that's the things that are important to me. And I'm so, so glad that you've been feeling like it's happening quickly and you're also getting time to be with the ones that you love, which is everything.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Melissa. Oh, so good. Tammy, what has been your biggest accomplishment so far within Scalable Systems?
Well, obviously, as I said in the beginning, um, overcoming that resistance, fear, cringiness of sending DMs has probably been my biggest. I still have times where I'm like, oh, should I DM this person? But for the most part, I see that it's working. And of course, that's an incentive for me to do more of it. The other part, I think, is that the confidence to send those DMs, the confidence to talk to people about what I do, that's definitely improved. The third thing I would say is thinking outside of the box. I was very focused on keeping my business in one direction. And I think one of the things Megan has helped me do is to think outside of the box. And then finally, setting monthly goals. I really, I have all these long-term goals in my head, but I never sat down and did monthly goals. And I think coming up with monthly goals is very important. Even if you don't always meet those goals, at least you have some framework to work within. And so those have been, I think, my four biggest wins in these short 3 weeks.
Which is already so huge. And I think that thank you for bringing up the monthly forms along with everything else that you've mentioned, the confidence. I mean, like that is something that I hope that everyone feels like just that they feel so much more confident and clear with their business. But that was something that I did as well. It was like, if I was thinking about like running a classroom as an elementary school teacher, there were obviously like things I needed to do. There were clear benchmarks that I needed to hit. But then as an entrepreneur, I make my own benchmarks. So it was like, it would be like, okay, I want to run a race, but it's not clear about like, okay, am I running a marathon? Am I running a 5K? Like, what is actually like the parameters for hitting something that's successful? What am I defining as success within my business? And I think for me, having that other accountability, the thing I want it to feel like is a hybrid of almost one-on-one and group coaching. Like, I want you to feel like I am in your business as much as you are. I want to know what your goals are every month. I want to know how you're feeling every single week. I try and give, and again, it might be me or it might be my team that's giving you feedback in a video, but just so that you know that there's someone else that's building this business alongside with you, and then having a clear benchmark to go towards. I actually, as you guys know, I brought on another co-coach, and I might be introducing her on the podcast soon too. But within the feedback that I give, we're actually looking at a document called the 6-figure strategy. So I have a document that every single time, whenever, if it's not me that's giving you feedback, anyone is giving you feedback, they have a list of your goals. They know what you've done for the past months, where you're going, and any monthly feedback that you get, and anything that you got feedback from in a live call or feedback in a discussion stream that's like open 24/7, like you can post in it and we get back to you every single week with different feedback. But that's what I wanted it to feel like. I wanted it to feel like we know you, we know your business, and are supporting you as you reach those goals. And again, like you said, you either miss, hit, or exceed your goals. Only 3 different outcomes that could come from setting a goal, but at least we've got data, and with a whole year to look at it, we're going to be able to make sure you hit those goals and exceed them as we grow. So great, Tammy. So good. Christy, what has been your biggest accomplishment so far?
Okay, so the very first one is just right from the start. I know the power of coaching. I've been a coach. I've got coaching before. It's changed my life. I've changed people's lives. But since this was a new, niche for me, I had a personal journey myself where getting up and the clothes that I chose, really changed things for me in so many ways. And so I wanted to help other women with that, but I wasn't sure if I was some outlier that, nobody else would get it. And I remember Megan sending me a video, and I sent her a video back saying, what do you think? And she was so excited about it. And then, so I joined the program, and the feedback I got from the other members in the group, I could just feel their excitement, and that's like set me on fire. And I just was like, wow, okay, other women get it, they need it, I'm ready. So that, coupled with what I talked about earlier, just to piggyback off of what Melissa said, the articulation of what I do, because it's clothes that we put on every day, but it's really the confidence and our worthiness, and it's things that are very hard to put words to feelings. But through those pillars and doing the work, I have really found the words. So just feeling everyone's excitement and then figuring out how to articulate it. I have jumped on social media every day, and I am not weirded out by it anymore, because I know what to say now. I know that women need this, and I know how to talk about it. So that is huge when you're trying to sell something where you're just kind of like, are people going to get this? And they will. And now I have a framework to do that. And so that's been my biggest breakthrough so far.
Which is so amazing. Again, I want that, because for every single person, I have never worked with someone where I question their ability to serve clients. Like everyone I talk to is incredible about being an awesome service provider. The tricky part is figuring out how to articulate that. And I think that for just seeing you, like I could see it in your eyes, like when everyone was just like, and again, this is a very supportive mastermind. So people were just so excited when you talked about your offer. People were like, send me your email. Here's my email. Let me get on your list. Like, I think that's one of the things that is also just feeling that confidence and that excitement around other people when you start to get it, when they start to get it. I mean, like that is something I hope for every single person in this mastermind. And I'm so, so glad that you felt that. And I hope you don't mind me also adding this. It just jogged my memory. You also started talking to just people in your life about it without like, just because you had, so I don't know, it was like, I don't know if you want to share about like the experience that you had, but like you mentioned what you do now to other people. And already you generated some excitement outside of even the mastermind too.
Yeah. So, I've been a photographer for 13 years and that's been my identity. And previous to joining this program, I was working on this offer, I was working on my program, but I hadn't told anybody in my personal life about it except for one other person. And I think I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure people were going to get it. I had been doing this other thing for so long and I kind of felt like my old identity was dying. But once I found the words through this program and it just gave me that confidence to talk about it. And once I did, I started putting it out there to my personal. I mean, it was just like that feeling too was overwhelming and so awesome. And so I know I'm on the right path. I know it just feels all in alignment and cool and awesome.
I mean, that is what, again, once you get it, there's no going back. It's like you just have this for life. And so that is my goal for every single one of you. Oh my goodness. Okay. So last question. And then again, I'm gonna like, if there's anything else that you can think of or want to add with this question, feel free to chime in with it. But the last question I have for you, amazing humans, is why do you think other people should join the group? If they're thinking about it, what would you tell them? So, Melissa, I'm going to have you go first and then just go back through the crew again, just to share about why do you think other people should join?
We unmuted this time. So, all right. So I guess that's such a fun question because, yeah, I just wish that I had found you earlier, which is always a good sign to know that for me, to know I'm on the right track. Because you do a beautiful job of pulling together both the mindset stuff and just pointing to the importance of focused incremental actions over time. And you are brilliant at helping us set up a system to see all that and track it. So it's like it gives the mindset stuff, like conceptually, I've had that for a while, but this piece of like getting clear, like managing, that's what we do as humans. And then as business people, we manage our minds and emotions so we can, deal with the unknown of doing business. But then to be able to do that part and then have, channels, systems that just to pour the action energy into and to be gathering data that then allows you to tweak that action because nobody's getting it right the first time. You got to try a bunch of stuff, but with data, it's like it just feels so much more powerful. I can go on. I have a couple more quick things. Is that okay?
Yes, of course. And
Okay.
just to touch on the data piece really quick, and just so I don't forget it. So
Yeah.
in my brain, I think that a lot of times we can be, especially when you're doing something new, it can feel really scary to take action when you don't know if you're going to create a result from it. And it's something you've never done before. So as a CEO, you're in all of these different roles. It's like you're the CMO, the chief marketing officer. You're now a graphic designer. You're a copywriter. You're the chief financial officer. There's so many different things that you're doing within your business. And I think that for me, I felt like nothing was like every time for the whole first year of my business, I would coach myself every day. And the same thought came up pretty much every single day. And it was like, nothing is working. It's like, it's not working, or it's not working fast enough. And that was just like my go-to thought all the time. If anyone else can relate to that, like, that's just kind of how it felt. And it felt like I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. But then when I created that graph, that I have a weekly financial tracker that I have everyone go through, I was like, no, I am not throwing spaghetti at a wall. This consult didn't come from nowhere. I have posted consistently for 4 months. I've also talked to this many people. There might be something to this. Maybe this isn't just like, oh my gosh, like it's just and whether I hit 6 figures or not is something that's like maybe I'm inherently made for or not. It's like it's just math, and it makes it coming from like a subjective, like mean place that my brain was like coming at me solving problems with. It made it really objective, and I was like able to like actually take myself out of my business and solve problems more quickly and more efficiently, because I was like, okay, if I just need to get more people, then where are the people? It gave me my brain better questions to solve. And I'm so, so glad that you felt that too. But that was, I just wanted to add that before you add on your things. I was like,
That's so
Yeah.
brilliant, because I think you've said it before, as service providers, we are and are not our businesses, right? And this really gives you the separation, because we're still humans. It gives us the separation we need from our business to look at it as an entity. We're the ones who show up and put the effort into it. We can then compassionately, with good data, direct ourselves, right? And yeah, so, and just, I don't know, your teaching energy, your encouragement energy, it suits me. Anybody who wants that sort of energy in their business, because it does feel like you're in our business. I don't know how you do it. I call you a business genie who makes the impossible doable. And so, like, and it's some beautiful co-creation, and I'm just deeply appreciative. I just, we're coaches, or a lot of people in service-based businesses might appreciate one more little song clip. It's like, if you want to live your life with arms wide open, today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten, right? And it's like, jump in here and write this chapter with this mastermind and with Megan. Scalable systems. Yeah, that's what I would say.
My goodness, that just like makes my heart so happy. And you mentioned that like right before we got on. And I just think that like it's just like so beautiful, and it does feel like like I would never ever take credit for every single one of you is creating this on your own. You are doing it, and I'm not taking credit for anything that you have put the hard-earned time into. However, it does feel like this beautiful like opportunity to be on your side. Like I feel like it's almost like you're rowing, and I'm like the person who's cheering you on, like row, continue to row, you can do it, along with like giving you direction. That's the way I hope that this feels for everyone that's in it. And if that's something that you're looking for in your business, I would be so honored to support you. And maybe you even join these amazing entrepreneurs as well, which would be very fun. Of
Thanks, Megan. Yes.
course. Thank you. Tammy, I have you next, my dear. Why do you
Okay.
think people should join?
Well, Melissa touched on a few things that I thought about. One was that you bring such excitement to this mastermind. You also make it very exciting. You, you get me hyped up thinking, oh, I can do this. I can really do this. So anyone who's thinking about joining, if you really like that kind of energy, then this is perfect for you. The other thing that I like is that you're a confidence booster, and not just in the way that you would normally think about that. So, for instance, you give positive critiques, and you temper that with, "Well, have you thought about doing it this way?" Instead of saying, "Oh, that's really a crappy idea. Where did you come up with that?" But instead, you say, "Oh my God, you're on the right track. You're doing this, but have you thought about doing this instead?" And I think that's the teacher in you that comes out. And then the last thing I would say is that I found that 1 week mastermind in the beginning to be so extremely helpful. It gave me tools to jumpstart what I'm doing in this entire program. So if anyone wants that kind of edge, wants that kind of excitement, wants that kind of positive energy, then this is the place to be.
So good. And you guys are touching on all the things that I wanted to touch on and like always forget to talk about, which is just beautiful. So within you mentioned the systems week. So this, for anyone that doesn't know, the business used to be a full week, and again, a lot of iterations of this mastermind have changed. So for anyone who is listening to this point going forward, it used to be that I love teaching. It's obviously like, as a former teacher, love giving feedback too. It's like one of my favorite things. And one of the things that I wanted is I have ADHD, no surprise to anyone who's probably listening to this. But within that, I know that if I were left to my own devices, and if I was expected to watch modules and kind of go through a process on my own, I probably wouldn't. I probably would. And I paid really good money for things that I have still not listened to all the videos for. So I know my strengths, and I wanted to create a program for people like me that are extremely capable, high achieving people that just need a little bit of extra support. And I find that when you learn everything live with me, you can ask questions. You don't have to go through it on your own. So a new thing that is actually coming this Friday to the mastermind. So if you're listening now, you'll have to jump in the next setup systems day. But I am doing it instead of being a week, because that was a big question for a lot of people. People were like, oh my gosh, I'm like traveling, I'm not going to be able to make it every single morning. I'm just making it a day-long intensive where every single month I'm going and having a setup systems day. Everyone in the mastermind is welcome to join, but that is going to be an official onboarding day for any new members. And I'm going to teach you every system live. So you're not going to have to wait to watch modules. You can start watching the modules and start implementing as you want. But if you want to just get everything in one day, baptized with fire is the way I like to think about it. It's kind of like a water hose of information, but then you can start to implement it as you go. So thank you for bringing that up, because I've never really talked about that on the mastermind yet. So, or on the podcast yet, about the mastermind. So I'm very, very glad that was helpful for you. Excited to see how systems day goes, setup systems day. And then the other thing that you mentioned was the feedback piece that I just wanted to touch on really quick too, because for me, I felt like I was building the plane as I flew it. A lot of times, even though I had amazing business coaches supporting me, and this had nothing to do with them, I just like more hands-on like support. That's just how I like to roll. And so for me to have somebody giving me, like, first off, that I was setting an implementation goal every week, that I was like, this week I'm going to do something. And I actually started the whole implementation and feedback because I made my coach do it for me. So I was like, okay, here's how we're going to start our calls is I'm going to give you my wins. Then we're going to, I know I'm a controlling person. I'm like, this surely surprises none of you. But I was like, I need to have something that I'm working towards every week, or else I'm like gonna lose it. And I wanted her to hold me accountable. And so for me, that's why I wanted to reflect that to you guys, because I didn't want it to feel like you were building the plane as you flew it without guidance. I want you first, because you are amazing CEOs. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already extremely capable. I want you to think of something that you're going to implement. But then I also, like you mentioned, have some other ideas that I can present to you just from experience. Like I've just been a pilot for longer. So I know, or just had different experiences. So I can just give you different ideas that you can implement too. So thank you for touching on that. Very, very much appreciative. And Christy, you are our last. Why do you think that people should join the mastermind?
Well, so one thing I want to say, and I don't know if people pay attention to this or not, but one of the reasons I hired Megan to be my coach is, well, I knew doing this new venture, I could probably figure it out myself, but it was going to take me a very long time. And I do not have 3 or 4 years to figure this out. So I knew that by hiring somebody that was doing it the way I wanted to do it. And so I liked her messaging. I watched her for many years. I don't know if she knows that, but I've been in her orbit for years. And I just liked, how she operates. But one thing that was the reason I hired her was her transparency. And if you've hung out in the coaching world for any amount of time, that it can, not always be reality of what some people are, just the good and the bad. And I just loved her transparency. I thought what she was saying was absolutely true. And it wasn't this giant, like, she wasn't promising like these giant numbers. And, I just loved that. I was like, that's so refreshing. So that's why I hired her in the beginning. And then once I was in there, it's just like the balance between the strategy and the mindset is so perfect. And that is exactly what I was looking for. I've been in programs before where it's all mindset, no strategy, and I'm flailing around trying to figure out what to do for 6 to 8 months, and then the program's over. Or I've been on the other end of that stick where it's all strategy, but I know I should be doing that, but I have really crazy thoughts about it and no one to help me support me in that. So this program is that perfect balance of here's the systems, here's how you do it. Now let's talk about it if you get stuck. And so if you enjoy that style, then you absolutely want to be a part of that.
Oh my goodness, that is such high regards. And no, I did not know that you had been following me for years. That is huge. I did not realize that at all. And I think that like for me, that was I think that I like to create the kind of programs that I would want to be in. And that's what I was trying to create and emulate with this program was that match. Because I've been in programs as well. It's like all strategy, all mindset. And I wanted it to feel like a balance. So that is such a high compliment because that's kind of the whole reason I created this. And thank you so, so much for touching on that because I think that the other part that I want to touch on is the fact that I don't try and promise the moon. I want to keep it something that's very realistic, very doable. I know that people have families. I know that you guys have other things going on. So I want to make sure that you have realistic expectations coming into it. It's not like you're going to make 100K in the first week. That's why it's a full year. And I'm going to be checking and tracking things as we go along. But I also think that like that was something that I wanted too. And I had experienced things where I was like so excited to be like, oh great, I'm gonna make 100K in the next 6 months. And then I was like, oh no, that's not happening. So it was like I wanted to set that frame of reference for everyone as well. And I'm really, really glad that that came through. And I'm just so, so excited for other people to experience this too. I think that like this hopefully is going to grow to be a really big my goal is that solopreneurship becomes the norm, that more people seek out becoming a solopreneur. It becomes a typical career. And I think that this mastermind is my goal and to how to make that happen. So amazing. Thank you guys so, so much for coming on today. This was such a phenomenal podcast. Like I mentioned, every single one of them, their contact information is going to be in the show notes. If you would like to reach out to them, please do. They are incredible. Like, and again, I get to see a lot of the behind the scenes of their businesses. Anyone who does this program is definitely a hard worker and will go to work for you. But I know specifically these amazing entrepreneurs are going to go to bat for you. They're going to make, if they're anything that they've said today is interesting to you, definitely check them out because they're amazing. And I am so honored to be your coach. And I am so excited to see what we create within these next couple months. They're going to have to come and share again all the things that they've created. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, I'll also include information about how to get started with the mastermind in the show notes and joining the next round. We're doing things a little differently. So like hopefully every month people can start signing up and joining. So definitely check out the show notes for more information. And I cannot wait to see you in next week's episode.